But let's turn to 1 Kings chapter 17. You sense him in the house?
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. Have your way, God. Have your way, oh God.
Bless him.
Yes,
Bless
Lord.
him. I want to ask you a question this morning. We can be in the same place and not experience the same thing.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
And I'm convinced it's because, truthfully, we're all in different places in our lives, different places in our spiritual walk. My question for you right now is, where are you in your spiritual walk? Where each individual person, don't think I'm talking to everybody, I'm talking to you. Where are you in your spiritual walk? Someone right now just came out of a situation, just recently been delivered from some stuff. Some right now struggling right in the middle of some things. Some right now in your spiritual walk, this is probably the highest place you've ever been in. Others, you feel as if you're lagging, you feel as if you're in a mediocre spot. Where are you in your spiritual walk? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? There are some who've walked and talked this and now they're kind of doing themselves.
Yes.
Where are you? Where are you? There are some that are teetering on trusting the Lord. Was right on the edge of trusting God and then something happened. Now I don't know. I want to trust him. I feel like the one man that Jesus asked him, do you believe? And he said, well, I believe, but in unbelief. What he's saying is I'm conflicted. I know you can, but I have some doubt. Where are you in your spiritual walk? Because this next move is really up to you. What happens next in your life? Now, if the Lord come through, God is always able. You know what I'm saying? He's always able. He's never short. He never. You know, you ever call somebody thinking, I know I need some help, and if I call them, I know they'll help me. And you call them, and they don't come through. Or they say, I would, but I'm a little short right now. God is never short.
Amen.
Never lies. He's never dumbfounded. You ever call somebody for advice and they be like, well, I just don't know what to do on that one. God is never sitting there and said, I don't know what to do. Not ever. He's never stuck. He's never stuck.
Come on. Thank you, Jesus.
He's there. So it doesn't matter what place we're at in our spiritual walk, no matter where we're at in our lives, no matter where we're at in our struggles, he's standing. We're going to dig into this a little bit. I want you to see it. In 1 Kings chapter 17, start reading at verse 2. And the word of the Lord came unto him, saying, Get thee hence and turn thee eastward, and hide thyself by the brook Cherith, that is before Jordan. And it shall come to pass that thou shalt drink of the brook. So he said, I need you to go out into the wilderness. This is a wilderness place. He said, I need you to go out into the wilderness. Go out to the dry area. Go out to where nobody else is. He said, there's a brook there, and I need you to drink. You can drink from the brook. In the middle of verse 4 it says, and I have commanded the ravens to feed thee there. So he went and did according unto the word of the Lord, for he went and dwelt by the brook Cherith, that is before Jordan. And the ravens brought him bread and fresh in the morning, and bread and flesh in the evening. And he drank of the brook. And it came, in verse 6, they brought him bread and flesh in the morning. Now you guys know birds are scavengers. If anything, they're taking things away from you. But these birds are messengers. And they bring him bread and flesh, some bread and some meat, in the morning. Then they come back in the evening and bring him some more bread and some more meat. He's sustained. He has water. He has bread. He has meat. In the middle of the wilderness. In verse 7 it says, and it came to pass. It came to pass. A time came after a while that the brook dried up. God sent him. He said, you're going to use this brook for water, and I'm going to command ravens to feed you. And then in verse 7 it says, and it came to pass after a while that the brook dried up because there had been no rain in the land. So here he is, this prophet. He's listening. He gets to a place. He was living the life of luxury in the wilderness. He didn't have to hunt. He didn't have to chase nothing down. He was there beside the brook, drinking the water, and birds would come in the morning and feed him, and then come back at night and feed him again. And all of a sudden, the brook dries up. And then because the brook dried up, birds stopped coming too. What do you do when you're in the middle of what you believe God has told you to do? And then everything dries up.
Come on.
We start questioning God, did you tell me to do this?
Yes.
Was it you? Did I miss it, Lord?
Yeah.
What do you do when the very plan of God seems as if it's shut down right before your very eyes?
Thank you, Jesus.
Beloveds, this is a place we're in right now. It's a place of trust. It's a place of trust. God is calling you to trust him at whatever level of spirituality you are at right now. He's calling you to trust him. He's calling you to decide that circumstances don't mean nothing when it comes to trusting him. Situations don't mean anything when it comes to trusting him. Come on. I think sometimes many of us, God will put us in this situation and we're drinking from that wilderness water, we're drinking from that brook and things are coming to us and we start trusting the brook and the ravens more than we trust him. He's the one that's in control of all of it. Why would we trust the creation when we can trust the creator? Because see, the thing about the creation is subject to fail. He's human, subject to fail. She's human, subject to fail. Don't trust the creation. Trust the creator. Trust the creator. Because see, the great thing about him is, if the brook dry up, he can turn around and if the ravens stop coming.
Thank you.
When you think your blessing has been coming from the east,
Yes.
all of a sudden this stop, he'll cause blessings to come from the north, south, and west. Because he's the creator. He's the one that orchestrates the whole thing. Let's look further. So what happens What do you do? What do you do? What do you do when the brook dries up? What do you do when your blessing seems as if it's just not working anymore?
Yes.
What do you do when the ones that you've trusted now you feel like you can't trust?
Yes.
What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? The Bible says in verse 8, and the word of the Lord came unto him saying, see, here's the key thing is, when things are not going the way that you thought they would, when you heard the first direction, and now it look like it's not working, all you got to do is keep listening.
Yes.
I think sometimes when things stop going our way, we stop listening. We get frantic and we just start panicking. And can I tell you, you can't hear when you're panicking?
Amen.
When you're panicking, it's a bunch of noise.
Yes.
It's a bunch of noise. When you're panicking, there's noise coming from the news. When you're panicking, there's noise coming from your cousin when you're on the phone with him. When you're panicking, there's noise coming from your mind. There's noise. You have to stop the noise and still listen.
Yes, God. Thank you. Thank you.
Still listen. You got to stop the noise of the enemy.
Yes, God.
You have to stop the noise of the enemy. You're going to lose everything. Stop the noise. You ain't going to make it. Stop the noise. I don't think she ain't going to ever come out. Stop the noise.
Thank you.
They're not going to ever be delivered. Stop the noise.
Thank you.
Stop the noise. Shut it down. Shut it down. I'm not trying to hear that. I'm trying to hear him. Have you ever been watching TV and somebody trying to talk to you? What do you do when you really want to hear? Shh. Shh. Wait. I missed it. And there was a time when, Sister Louise, when you missed it, you just missed it. But now, you just I missed it. And you hit that rewind button. Somebody need to hit the rewind. And say, Lord, say it again. Say it again, I missed it. Lord, say it again. Remind me again that I'm the head and not the tail. Remind me again that I'm the lender and not the borrower. Remind me again that I'm above and not beneath. I heard you in the background, but the noise was getting in the way. Remind me. You're my way maker. Remind me you're a miracle worker. Remind me you're my promise keeper. When the world back down, God, you still standing. When they back away, when they leave me for dead, you still there with me. Remind me that you never leave me nor forsake me.
Thank you, Jesus.
Holy Spirit, have your way.
Thank you, Lord.
So in verse 8,
Thank you.
the word of the Lord came unto him saying, just keep listening. Just keep listening. Come on, just keep listening. He's going to say, he's going to give you the next move. He's going to give you the next direction. Because you know God never sends you out for you to fail.
Amen.
Yes, Lord.
Yes, Father. Thank you.
He won't call you out for you to fail. Somebody just got a word.
Yeah.
He won't. He won't. He won't. He won't. So even at the darkest hour, just keep listening. Come on. Come on, quiet yourself and listen. Stop freaking out. Be still. I know
Yes, Lord.
that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I'll make ways in the wilderness. I'll make ways in the desert. Be still and know that I'll flood your dry places. Be still and know.
Thank you.
Be still and know. Anybody feel like you got stuff pulling on you from every side? Anybody feel like you thought you was on the right place and now everything look weird? This can't be God. Oh, but it is. How you gonna know he gonna be with you if you don't walk through the valley?
All right.
David said, you ain't gonna walk through the valley of the shadow of death. See, you gotta walk through it to know that.
Amen.
You can't be standing on the edge saying, I don't know. You gotta walk through it to know it. Huh? Yes. In order to get to, you gotta go through. Yes. The word of the Lord came unto him, saying, I'm almost done preaching, just hang with me. Arise, get thee to Zarephath, which belongeth to Zidon, and dwell there. But look, behold, I have commanded a widow woman there to sustain thee. Somebody say trust. No. Some things is going on. Look at verse 10. So he arose and went unto Zarephath, and when he came to the gate of the city, behold, the widow woman was there gathering of sticks, and he called to her and said, fetch me, I pray thee. He said, man, help me out. A little water in a vessel that I may drink it. As she was going to fetch it, he called to her and said, bring me, I pray thee, a morsel of bread in thine hand. And she said, as the Lord thy God liveth, I have not a cake, but a handful of meal. She said, I don't have a loaf of bread, man. Have no bread. She said, I got a handful of meal in a barrel, a little oil in a cruse. Behold, I'm gathering 2 sticks that I may go in and dress it for me and my son, that we might eat and die. She said, I'm going to make one little piece of cornbread. When I finish making it, we finna have our last meal, my son and I. Elijah said unto her, fear not, go and do it as thou hast said. He said, but make me therefore a little cake first. Bring it unto me, and after make for thee and for thy son. For thus saith the Lord God of Israel, the barrel of meal shall not waste, neither shall the cruse of oil fail, until the day that the Lord sendeth rain upon the earth. And she went and did according to the saying of Elijah. Look at this. Brook dries up. God says to Elijah, look, I need you to go to Zarephath. I understand that the miracle I gave you is done now. Somebody say seasons. We forget that seasons change. So we think that if God blessed us with something today, we're going to have it for the next 45 years. But seasons change. Well, here's what he was doing. And God had a relationship that he was building with Elijah that reminded me of the relationship that he had with Adam pre-sin. Because the relationship that he had with Adam relied on God. Whatever God said, that's what he did. And God sustained him. So what God was doing with Elijah was teaching him to just lean on him, not on stuff. He was teaching him to just trust him. Just trust me. Some of us right now, we missing the lesson. God is teaching you to trust him. Not stuff, not people, not your circumstances, not your FICO score, not your credit. He's teaching you to trust him. Trust him. So he says to him, he said, okay, look, listen, where the Lord came to him again, he said, go to Zarephath. He says, this is the scary part. He says, I have a widow woman there to sustain you. In their days, in these days, widows were poor. They were poor. Because generally, women didn't work in these days. Generally, men were the bread makers. They brought it home. This wasn't the 80s. Bring home the bacon fried up in the pan and all that kind of stuff. This wasn't the 80s. This was pre-feminism. Hello? So when he said, go, a widow's going to sustain you, it's like me saying, go down the street, this is a broke person down there. They're going to take care of you. So he goes there. Then when he gets there, he finds out there's a famine because there's been no water. So when he begins to ask her, look, I need you to sustain me. I need you, give me some water and give me a piece of cake. She looked at him like he was crazy. And she said, what? I'm about to take what's left that I have. I have a handful of meal and I have a little bit of oil in this cruise. And I'm going to take what's left and I'm going to make a cake, and my son and I, we're going to eat it, and then we're going to die. And then the prophet speaks up and says, yeah. Just feed me first. Now, had it been today, you would have ran him out of town. Hello? Feed me first. He says, make sure I eat first. Why? Because he knew something that she didn't. See, God said, go there and a widow woman is going to take care of you. So when he sees her outside of the city gathering sticks about to make a fire so that she can, he's like, just bring me some water first. And, oh yeah, by the way, bring me that food. Some of us right now, the next level, Sister Louise, that God is calling you to, is not going to make sense to other people. Why are you doing that? What makes you think that that's going to work for you? What makes you think that God will want you? Well, you must think you're somebody special. Your season change, you missed that. You missed it. What are you doing now? Many of you that did it 20 years ago, many of you wouldn't have made an error. Many of you wouldn't have made a mistake. Many of you wouldn't. God is ushering you right now, beloveds. Past the thoughts and the feelings of others. If you can just hear his voice. He's ushering you right now into a place where he's going to sustain you. If you would just hear his voice. He's ushering you right now into a place where you're going to be able to serve others in a way that is going to not only bless you, but it's going to bless them. If you just get in your place. If you just hear. Some of us right now, our problem is we're not listening. Somebody say, listen. Because when he's trying to get you somewhere, he's going to speak to you. When he's trying to make a way, he's going to speak to you. When he's trying to open the door, he's going to speak to you. Hello?
Thank you, Lord.
Can you hear him? Come on. Elijah was able to be sustained because he could hear. Can you hear him? Can you hear him? Can you hear him? If you were taking notes today, one of your key points would be don't trust circumstances. If you were taking notes. The other key point would be you got to hear. And then the last one would be follow directions. Follow directions when they don't make sense. Some of us will rationalize ourselves out of a miracle. If the Lord said, go ask them. It's like, God, they ain't got nothing. And he said, ask them. Ask them to help you. Ask them. Ask them. Is God speaking to you right now? Come on, does anybody get in a word? If you're going to go to the next level, you're going to have the just stayability first. And then rely on. Come on, believer. Rely on God. Who you relying on right now? No, be honest. Come on. Who you relying on? Because if you're relying on him, can I tell you it'll get scary?
Yeah. Hey.
Especially in your rational mind.
Oh.
Because we don't think with our faith mind, we think with our rational mind. Do I have anybody?
Thank you, Lord.
You think with your rational mind. When you get ready to pay your bills, you're not using faith, you're using your rational mind. You know, you got a pencil out, and this is how much this costs. But so we think with our rational mind.
Yeah.
Even when it comes to finances, even when it comes to church, when it comes to tithing, we think with our rational mind, the truth be told. When you tithe, it's a faith thing.
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
When you tithe, it's a faith thing.
Yes, Lord.
But that faith thing opens doors.
Yes.
That faith thing will have you in a situation where it looked like everything gonna fall apart,
Yes, God.
and resources start coming from everywhere.
Right.
That faith thing. Because he already promised it. If you take care of mine, I'll take care of yours.
Yeah.
He promised I'll rebuke the devourer for your sake. Because if you step out and you trust him and you write that check or you dig and you take that 10% or you give that offering, he said, now my name is involved.
All right.
He said, I'm going to protect my name.
Come on.
I'm going to protect my name. Come on, if you trust me,
Yes.
Thank you, Lord.
you mess around and see my glory.
Yes.
And so Elijah trusts him. Shows up, tells the widow woman, feed me first. Feed me first. By faith, she fed him. Look back at the verse. Verse 14, for thus saith the Lord God of Israel, the barrel of meal shall not waste. It's not going to be empty. Neither shall the cruse of oil fail until the day that the Lord sends rain upon the earth. And she went and did according to the saying of Elijah. And she and he and her house did eat many days. God told Elijah he was going to sustain him, right?
Yes.
Did eat many days. And the barrel of oil, the barrel of meal, wasted not, neither did the cruse of oil fail, according to the word of the Lord which he spake by Elijah. Look at it. She had some meal. She had some oil. Sandra, she reach in, make the food, get the meal, put it in the bowl. She grabbed the oil and poured it. And when she would get ready to make bread again, she'd reach in, grab the meal, throw it in the bowl, pour the oil. And when she would get ready to make bread again, she would reach in. The Bible said for many days. If you trust him, God will multiply what you have. And when you need it, just reach in. When you need it, just pour it. When it seems like it's not enough, just reach in. Come on, because he's the God that gives us this day our daily bread. He's the one that told Israel, just eat what you need today because tomorrow I'll take care of you. Is there somebody that you so bent on what tomorrow holds that you missing today's miracle? He's taking care of you today. And when you go to sleep and you wake up, he's going to take care of you tomorrow. And when you go to sleep and when you wake up, he's going to take care of you the next day. Because we're talking about God. I'm challenging you to stop looking at the circumstance and get ready to move to the next level. I don't care where you at. I don't care where you're at. The next level is calling you. If you're the one that's been struggling to feel like you can't get it right, the next level is calling you. If you're the one that's stumbling through this, the next level is calling you. If you're at the highest place you've ever been in your spiritual walk, the next level is calling you. And if you're at the place where you really are not trusting right now, you're teetering, because you're conflicted. I want to trust, but what is there to trust if it doesn't go my way? The next level is calling you. I preached a couple of weeks ago about just this obsession that we should have with Jesus. But you can't have no obsession without trust. You can't have no obsession for God without faith. The disciples died for this because their faith was in Him. Many believers before we leave this earth will die for this. Because our faith got to be in Him. That's the only way we'll do it. Come on. Come on. Come on. God's calling you closer. How many believe what I'm talking about? He's